Good morning. Today is Tuesday, December 2nd, 2014, and this is Before the First Cup with Zorie and Lady Pitbull on UCY.TV. Good morning, lady.
Hi. Man, that was like under the wire.
I know, I'm sitting here going, wait, maybe something's not working.
Right? Well, I just plugged in my new headset and I was fumbling with it. So, this we got here. Jeez.
Yeah, I was going, okay, 6:01. Well, okay.
Whoopsie.
And I seen you in chats. I knew you were there, and I'm going, well, maybe she forgot she's supposed to start the show.
Oh,
So you
my
got a new
goodness.
headset.
I did, and I got a couple of new other things too. Those block it pocket things, for your cell phone that block the radio microwaves.
I hadn't heard of that.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. So I got a purse and a cell phone carrier. I got a hat, a little ski hat, and I got an apron for when I'm sitting here doing the show or when I'm on my computer. I'm protected against the crap that comes off the computer.
Very good.
Yeah.
What is it, early Christmas for yourself?
It really is. It really is. But I needed this stuff.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that watch that I ordered. I thought it would be here Monday, but maybe today. You know, the one that has the camcorder in it that...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I thought, wow, I want one of those because I always carry my camera in case anything comes up,
Sure.
that I need. So I'm hoping that it works good. Sometimes you get lucky and things, even though they're not expensive, they work real well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm anxious to see.
Neat. That's neat.
Yeah, just think, you could be recording anything. If you get pulled over, they wouldn't even know because it's your watch,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that it works well.
Well, remember we were talking about the portable power battery jumper /
The jump start?
Yeah, the jump start thing.
Mm-hmm.
I got one that's called Camo Pro Pack, and it looks like a camouflage backpack.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. It's got a light, and it's got
jumper cables, air
jumper
pressure,
cables. It's got all that stuff.
USB hookup, inverter for AC and DC.
Yup.
I know, I love it. It's great, huh? It covers so much that you might need, and mine's always in my car. I take it out once a month and charge it again to make sure it's staying all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lifesaver.
I also got like another one that you can pump yourself. That doesn't need to be... You can plug it in to charge it, but you can also pump it.
I have the radio that does that. A little radio, and it gets the weather and news channels and regular stations. And you just crank it. There's no battery to replace or anything. You just crank it a few times and it plays for a couple hours.
It's pretty cool.
They have flashlights like that, too. Because you figure you're not going to be lugging around a whole bunch of batteries in a bug-out situation.
That's
right. So these are really important, these power-up things, How much was the one, the jump start that you got with a charge?
God. I think it was like $160, something like that.
Not much more than the just regular one then.
Right. Yeah, it just looks cool because it's all like camo and stuff. You know what I mean?
Is it as heavy as the other one?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah, because, you figure inside of that is a battery.
Yeah.
So it's got to be heavy.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of red-lined things here saying, watch out for the battery.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I have a big spotlight, too. It's the biggest one I've ever seen. And it's like, the kind of spotlight you use out camping or whatever. But this thing is like 300 million lights. It is so bright. It's daylight when you turn this sucker on.
But dude, that's cool.
Yeah, but it's it's kind of, I mean, it's big to carry, but like when we go out to our crystal digs and stuff, a lot of times we go at night, and I mean, that thing lights up like daytime. It's
Why do you
amazing.
go at night to dig crystals?
I don't know. We go all hours. When I was doing it a lot, because we just jump on the quads and go way out in the, because we find them crystal digs all over the place.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
yeah, and whenever you come across a good one, well, then you start digging, and before you know it, you have this big old hole. But I don't know. Living out there, it didn't matter much if you went day or night. We just like going out at night in the summertime, especially
That's cool.
because it was so
I
hot.
thought crystals were nocturnal and they came out at night. Just kidding.
But
Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
okay.
I just.
Although we have seen strange things out there, and
Well,
stuff.
I bet. I bet. That would.
I mean, one time we were out, and it's happened to more than one person at this one spot. There was supposedly some guy murdered his wife out there.
Damn.
Yeah, out in the woods out there, and it's happened to others. But one night I was down there, and I was at the Crystal Dig, which is nobody knows where he buried her on the 40 acres. And I was down there, and all of a sudden, and I don't know if this has ever happened to you out in the woods, I felt something cool, and this is the middle of summer, and then the hair on the back of my neck just stood straight up. And I don't know, I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything, but I'll tell you, I was on that quad and down at the house within minutes. I just was terrified.
Oh boy.
And I've been going out there for years and years and never felt, and it was just the strangest thing. So, but to this day, I couldn't tell you, I didn't see anything or hear anything, but I was just terrified like I'd never been before.
That was just a feeling, huh?
Yeah, and it's never happened to me since either.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I don't know. And the same thing has happened to a few other people that have gone out there, and always by yourself. So.
Is it still raining there?
Yes, it is.
Yay!
Yeah. Yes.
Fantastic. What do you know about that?
I know, and it's supposed to rain into next week. So why are they doing this? Why are they giving us water now all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Experiment, a big experiment to prove that they could keep it from raining in areas. I don't know. And long enough to ruin the farmers and have them lose their land and all,
Yeah,
now it starts
so that they can jump in there and scoop it up for pennies on the dollar, just like they did the Depression. Bastards.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is
and we all know that Pelosi's husband and brother bought up a lot of the land down south.
Oh my God! Yikes!
Yeah.
Oh, that pisses me off. Oh, that gets that
inside trading.
My neck standing up.
Yeah, that's a different kind of standing up hairs. But yeah.
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 Yeah, it does. Wow.
I mean, it's just, yeah. So anyway, and now that it's raining, like they were saying it was going to be a 30-year drought, and getting all these people all panicked and stuff, and now it's raining, and that we've had droughts before, and we've had droughts that lasted this long almost, and so really now that we think about now that it's raining, wow, well, why did they make it so big a deal about it when like just 1972, right before 1972, we had a long drought. So I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe it was just Mother Nature. I don't know. I mean, we can't know for sure.
Well, for sure, the chemtrails have something to do with it.
Well, yeah, they have something to do with everything.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
but,
exactly.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm glad, and it's raining, and today I have to go out in it, because it's the first, so we have bills to do, and things to go take care of, so I'm going to be out in it.
Second.
I mean, second, yeah.
Yeah, I got this too. I got to do that too. Whoopsie. Too busy buying crap on the internet, but
I know, and then we end up, stopping at the Goodwill, and then that takes half the day, because I love shopping there.
I just kind of, got a little bit of pre-Christmas money, and I went prepper, so it's all the things that I need.
Yeah, we got these fun. It's a toy, really, but I don't know. It's like air guns. We gotta be careful, but they're bright orange, the whole thing. So
Hmm.
and targets. So we're gonna charge. We last time we went, so we're getting those charged up to go out and play army out in our field.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it'll be
Right
fun.
on.
Yeah, we do fun, and we got walkie talkies. We got to try them out. So yeah,
Right on. Walkie-talkies are really good. My buddy left
they
his
are.
over here on Saturday.
Yeah,
So
and they're really nice set that we got. So
nice.
yeah, and we're gonna go out and make sure they work. How
Hey.
far we have. So yeah,
Well, we
and
did that one time, and I think they got a couple miles away before it didn't
mm,
work anymore. So you might want to go on your ATV or whatever and test it
no,
out that way.
I don't have it no more. I wrecked it. I rolled it over on me.
You
Couple years.
did?
Yeah, I got
When?
mad. Oh, a couple of years back. I mean,
Oh.
I got pissed off at my own man at the time, and I went tearing out of there, and then I started going up this real steep hill, and I got almost to the top, and it just stopped, and I wavered. I mean, like, it's going over, it's not going over, it's going over, it's not, and then boom, it went over.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it was a big one, but luckily I had one of those, those milk crate type things
Hmm.
in the back, and that helped kept it from crushing on me. And it rolled after I fell off. It rolled down 2 more times and then landed upright and still running.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I shot off 3 shots and nobody came. They didn't hear them, so I got on the quad and rode back in. But yeah, it was, and I missed it. I want another one, but I really thrashed it that time.
Were
So
you injured?
yeah, but nothing really. I didn't break anything. I
Oh,
was just,
God.
scratched and bruised, and
God, you
and
can
my
become
problem is
paralyzed on those things.
when I get angry, though. See, I go fast in a car, no matter what it is, because my anger goes away quickly when I do that. Like I'll go out and drive 100 miles an hour or more, and it doesn't take me long to cool down and become sensible. But this
Holy
time I
crap,
took the wrong hill.
Don't get so
Huh?
pissed off behind the wheel. Sure.
I've done that many times too, and I live in the mountains, and that really, second, third squeal around a corner, you kind of calm down real quick.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I've always done that. I mean, it's my way of getting it out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But,
As long as you can stay in control of the car,
right.
it's okay.
And you have to become real aware of your feeling of what you're doing then, and then the anger goes away. And
Yeah.
it's my therapy, I guess. But I've scared a few people that way.
I
But yeah, I used to do it to get back at my old man. I'd take those mountain roads at 80 and 90 miles an hour, and I could look through the side of my eye, off parallel, and I would see him just white knuckled, but he
bet. Gee, my.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
But I've lived in mountains all my life. I know how to take curves and stuff. To get my first car, I grew up in Big Bear, and I had to go all the way down the mountain, which is about 50 miles, without hitting my brakes once.
Whoa.
And it's a real curvy road, and my dad never said a word. He was white-knuckled and holding on. But if I made it to the bottom, I got the car I wanted. I wanted a 57 Chevy.
Oh, hell yeah. Did you get it?
Yeah, I sure did when we got started because I never touched my brakes once. I just clutched it, and I didn't even burn out the clutch.
I was going to say, did the clutch go?
Nope. And I even had to use the emergency brake a couple times because, our elevation was 9,800 and something feet.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big ski resort.
And that's how you learn to drive?
No, I didn't. I knew how to drive, but to get my own car, my new car, that's what I had to do. My dad said, you got to know how to drive these roads if you're going to survive.
Yeah.
And so, I learned how to take curves and I practiced a lot before I actually did it. But yeah, that's how I got my first car. My dad used to always make bets with me like that. If you can do this, you can have that.
Wow. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it was a cool car, too. I wish I still had it. 57 Chevy Bel Air.
Right on. Those are cool, man.
Oh yeah.
What color was it?
The typical color in those, it was like a rosy, pinkish mod color and white.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it was what was known as the Chevy Bel Air colors. In those.
Yeah. It was either that or sky blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 55 and 56 were the blue and white.
Oh, all
Chevy.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my favorite car. I mean, and my dad was a mechanic. He owned his own garage, so I mean, it was souped up.
Nice. Oh my God, what a cool ass first car.
I know.
You must have went everywhere.
I did.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it was.
God.
Yeah.
My first car was a freaking Type 3 Volkswagen.
Oh, I love my Volkswagen though. When I became a hippie and got my first Volkswagen, oh, I loved him. His name was Herman.
That damn thing would go like 95 miles an hour down the highway, and you could, like, in the back, you could see the highway under your feet because of the rust, but that sucker I beat the crap out of that thing, and it held up pretty good, actually, that thing.
Yeah, I had one. I had an oil cooler on the outside and the back, because you could put those on it, and it kept it to even run cooler, because going up the mountain you'd have to get out and change work with your carburetor and tune that into the height. But it got real hot going down to the desert and the back way down the mountain, and you really needed it, and cars would be pulled over all overheated, and Volkswagen just kept trucking.
Haha, that's great.
Yeah, I like Volkswagens there. Volkswagens and Hondas I liked.
I had a camouflage Beetle once. That thing was really cool.
Yeah.
I think.
And there's a lot of room in those. I mean, a Volkswagen, you'd think, my mom used to always call them sewing machines, and she had never ridden one until I got one. She did. But, I mean, literally, my old man was 6'3", and he had lots of leg room in them.
Yeah, they're remarkably big. I had the bigger type. There's a smaller type and a bigger type. I had the big type.
Well, my first one was 69, I think. Yeah, just a regular V-dub, not the Super Beetle or anything, but just the V-dub. Little green.
I had the Super kind.
Oh, the Super Beetle. Yeah, those are cool, and they were a lot different, though, from the first ones. I mean, it was like a Cadillac compared to a Ford.
Yeah, I really wish that I had never gotten rid of it. That thing was super awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool, too, going down the highway. And I had a bumper sticker on it that said, "Better active today than radioactive tomorrow."
What year was that?
Oh, God. Let's see. Like 87, 88.
Quite a few years difference than my 69 then.
Oh, no, I mean, I had it in 87 or 88. The actual, Volkswagen year was, I think, a 72, 73.
Yeah.
Yeah, 73, I think it was.
What was neat about them is you could pull the whole engine in an hour, and work on them. They were so easy to work on.
Yeah.
And throw it back in there, and side of the road, you could do almost anything to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, great little cars.
Yeah, I wish I still had the damn thing.
I know.
It was cool, though, man.
And it was great in the snow. I never got stuck, and I got stuck a few times, but a couple guys, 4 guys could lift it up and move it off the, into.
Yeah, exactly. That's what was cool about it. It was a nice light body and everything.
Never had to put chains on. That sucker went anywhere.
Yeah, big time.
Cool cars. Cool cars. Okay, so much for our cars. I mean, I've had certain cars that it broke my heart to get rid of my '88 Honda SF. It was, I mean, that's the last car I had before this one, and I loved that car. I mean, young guys, that's what they love. They'd pull up and go, "Hey, you want to sell it? You want to sell it?" Hell no, get away from me.
That's funny.
Yeah, one time my landlord was cutting a tree branch some tree branches from over my house, and they were throwing the logs down. I guess they weren't watching, but I had my car covered, and they threw it and broke the windshield and didn't know it. And I didn't go out and drive it for 2 days, and I go out and I find it, and I went, oh, shit. The guy I called to replace the windshield goes, okay, you want to sell it?
Ah, no way.
Because that's the only year they made that car. And it was made for racing. One little computer chip, just changed the whole thing and gave it all kinds of power.
Wow.
And so it was a very popular car, especially amongst the Asian kids for some reason.
Interesting.
Yeah, nice car. I'd love to have. I miss it so much. Precision, the handling of it, and it was just, I don't know. I'll never have another one probably. I keep looking for a good deal on one, but man, they're all really priced real high.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. And Hondas last forever. I put over 400,000 miles on that car, and it just barely started messing up at the end. But I mean, that thing had as much power at the end as it did the day I got it.
Well, if you take good care of it, you know what I mean? Forever.
Yeah. Only thing, it was too low to the ground. I couldn't even get under it.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it was like low to the ground. I'm talking like just a few inches.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But, yeah.
Did you hear about the magnitude 4.7 earthquake hit Arizona?
Yeah.
Man. That's crazy.
Isn't it weird all of a sudden? And this, I don't know. Winter isn't usually typically earthquake time. I mean, it usually happens in the summer. I don't know why, but it usually does. But not, midwinter.
I think earthquakes have more to do with, like, the sun and coronal holes combined with planet alignment. I always I look at the suspicious observers weather every day if I can. He has pretty much documented over the past few years how earthquakes correlate with how upticks in earthquakes on Earth directly correlate with coronal holes on the sun and planet alignment, like geoconcentric alignment of the planets, and he has almost literally proven, without a shadow of a doubt, that when he says there's an uptick coming, there usually is an uptick somewhere on Earth of 5.0 or higher. And he said yesterday, there's an uptick coming in the next couple days, and sure enough, here we go. And
well, I just read too where now they have a system of earthquake warnings 1 minute before it happens, and they say they're going to be putting it out to the public in California sometime soon. I guess the military and them have had this for a while, but it gives you 1 or 2 minute warning before the earthquake happens. Now that's a big deal because they've never been able to predict them. You can watch dogs or watch animals because right before an earthquake, everything is so still. It's amazing, and dogs just start whining or moving around weird. The birds go away. There's no birds. There's no sound at all. It's a very eerie right before one. If you're outside, you know something's happening.
Yeah, that's weird. If you're in tune to that kind of thing. Most people don't even have a clue. Most people don't even know to listen to the birds not singing or, the dogs acting
But yeah,
strange.
in the city I could see, you wouldn't really notice it. Cars and everything would still be. And if you're in a car, you won't feel the earthquake.
That's kind of...
Unless it's really a big one, like a 6, 7, 8. But other than that, you won't feel it if you're in a car.
Damn.
Trippy, huh?
Yeah, not good.
I mean, you're in a car that's moving. That is.
I've never been in an earthquake, ever, and it would just be... I would almost rather deal with a freaking tornado, almost.
No, any day I'll take an earthquake to a tornado or a hurricane, unless I live in the big city. Like if I wouldn't want to be downtown San Francisco in even a small earthquake because of all the glass and all the things to fall down on you. But other than that, other than things falling on you, you're pretty safe in an earthquake. You really are, because there's nothing on the outside that's happening. I mean, like a tornado comes and picks up your house and goes away with it.
Yeah.
And a hurricane, the water comes and destroys your house and washes it away.
Mm-hmm.
But in an earthquake, unless you're right on the fault line and it opens up, you're pretty good, It's just a weird sensation. It's like, it's almost like floating. Your equilibrium leaves you completely.
That's weird.
It's like if you've ever had an ear infection and your equilibrium's off, that's what an earthquake does to you.
That's crazy vertigo weirdness.
Mm-hmm. Well, adrenaline junkies love them.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But, I mean, the smartest thing to do as soon as you feel one, if you're in an area where nothing's going to fall, you can go run out. Like us, we would run out in the middle of our field.
Adrenaline junkies like tsunamis, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love tornado. I love to be a tornado chaser. I like things like that. Just fascinate the hell out of me.
I know, me too.
Yeah, on Crescent City, they have a levee out here, and it's on the ocean. And whenever a big storm comes, man, the waves come hit that levee so hard and come up. I love going out as far as I can and get as much pictures as I can. It's fascinating to me.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would be one of those to be out there chasing tornadoes if I lived out there.
Yeah, it's cool. I saw the beginning of one once, like up above my head. But it took a while for it to actually form, and it was just a F1.
But so much power.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, wow.
Simply amazing. We came close last year, though, last spring. There was tornadoes all over the place around here.
Do you have a basement?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I can't believe in Texas where they do get, tornadoes, and they don't have basements in most of their homes.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
I know. I mean, if I did live in Tornado Alley or whatever, I'd have a basement, and a very deep one at that. To me, that's crazy.
It is.
I mean, after you've watched that thing just pick up a house like it's nothing, like it's a Lego toy.
Yeah, a Lego toy.
Yeah. So, and earthquakes, all that ever really gets publicized is the big one, like when San Francisco, when the bridge collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't really hear about them because it doesn't do anything. A few things might fall off the shelves. Like over my bed, I don't have knickknacks and stuff up over my bed because I know if an earthquake happens in the night, I don't want things falling on me, when you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to get into something that I don't want to do it right now, though. But it's a topic. It's a topic that we barely ever talk about on this particular show. So, and I think it's really, really worth going over. And it happens to be one of my hot button issues. So,
well, why don't we get into that then?
Well, I was gonna. Huh?
I really don't have very much. I mean, there was some, but there wasn't really a whole lot of.
Right. Well, I mean, get into whatever you had because I want to kind of save this for like a little bit later, just because it's kind of long and.
Okay. Let me see. I have what I do at night now is I go through and get. Last night the dredge was down. They couldn't find the server for hours.
Jeez.
Because I usually do my stuff at night. I'll go through the web pages and the news and see what there is, and I put it on a notepad and then just go do it the next day. But there was one that I found interesting. We knew about it, but we didn't really know the numbers so much. But it's overkill, aiming for 2 militant leaders in Pakistan. U.S. drone pilot killed 233 people, including 89 children.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I just seen that and I went, holy shit. enough. They go after, they say they're after one, and this happens often over there. I didn't know it happened as often as it did. We always heard about the wedding, you know, where they killed everyone in the wedding after one person. But this goes into the U.S. drone program in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Yemen is referred to as targeted killing of those deemed to be dangerous to American interests. President Barack Obama even said in a speech on May 23, 2013, by narrowly targeting our action against those who want to kill us and not the people they hide among, we are choosing the course of action least likely to result in the loss of innocent life. Instead, the Central Intelligence Agency attacks are anything but targeted. Hundreds often die in the multiple attacks to kill each individual. A study, Reprieve, a group that works against the death penalty and other government killing, showed that not only are many innocent lives lost in the attacks, but the actual targets are often missed. They can result in some being killed multiple times. Reprieve found 41 men whose death had been reported multiple times but remain alive, while as many as 1,147 civilians in the kill zone died. Wrap your head around those numbers. They're after one or two guys, and they kill over 1,000 people and don't even get their target.
That is typical. Typical.
It's so out there. And then it goes on. Ayman al-Zawahiri, I think, the current leader of Al-Qaeda, has been the target of U.S. drone attacks in Pakistan at least twice. A total of 76 children and 29 adults have died for the sake of getting this one guy. But he's still alive. Still, the body count there is less than in the 6 attempts to kill Corey Hussain, a deputy commander of the Tehrik Taliban Pakistan. 128 people, including 13 children, died before the CIA was able to kill him. These are, and you know, for people to think, oh, well, you know, with drones, they just go ahead and they kill the one person. No, they kill everyone in the area. So what's the difference in sending a plane over and dropping a bomb than sending a drone over and doing the same thing?
There's no difference.
And then another target. Quozo got around so much that he was reported killed in both Yemen, Pakistan, in 4 attempts to kill him. 48 people died before they finally did get him. So these drones, it's not a clean war. It's not just, they want to, what a promise, they want a clean war. Or what they can, report to us as a clean war, where innocents aren't dying.
It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're sitting at the dinner table with your family, and the next thing you know, maybe they're all dead around you.
Well, you notice how they keep recycling the damn bad guys? Like,
yeah.
They say, oh, we've eliminated the bad guy, and it's the leader of Al-Qaeda, but, and then a month later, well, we've just eliminated the leader of Al-Qaeda.
Right.
And then
they don't say about the missed times, and people don't get it.
Right. And they constantly do this, and they just keep recycling. How many times... I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous. They killed al-Zawahiri like multiple times, and then all of a sudden we've got him under arrest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just retarded, and they think everybody's memory hole is so shallow that nobody remembers this shit.
Or most don't really put it together. Okay, there's one more little paragraph.
Oh, sure.
Drone strikes have been sold to the American public on the claim that they're precise. But they are only as precise as the intelligence that feeds them. There is nothing precise about intelligence that results in the deaths of 28 unknown people, including women and children, for every bad guy the U.S. goes after. Jennifer Gibson, who led Reprieve's study, told The Guardian. So there, we don't get reported I don't think we hear about 1/8 of the amount of people that we're killing over
No.
there.
Oh my god, dude, there's so many innocents just getting just blasted. They hate us there.
Well,
I
I
mean,
don't blame them,
I don't blame them either.
And like
I
the
would
winter
hate us
sol
too.
that one guy during the Winter Soldier convention, he goes, to tell the truth, we have more in common with those people that we're over there bombing and pulling them out of their homes than we do with the people that are sending us over there to do that.
Exactly.
He goes, they're people just trying to live their lives, raise their children, and be as happy as they can, and we're over there murdering them.
Right. They just want to be like we want, left alone. That's correct.
Yep.
And they're not going to do it because you know what? They need the population reduction. This is why this continues unabated.
And money.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, Iraq. It breaks my heart when I see the pictures before and after of Iraq and Syria. Oh man, they were regular cities. Now they just rumbles.
Yeah, rubble. That's what it's going to look like here.
Mm-hmm.
It really will. I mean, there won't be anything left once they get done with it.
Nope, just structures of and dead bodies.
Meanwhile, the feds take a record in tax revenue this year, and then at the same time, the damn debt is $18 trillion.
Yeah, that I can't even comprehend. Remember when we were just in the millions, the low millions?
I remember back in like 84, 83, 84, being in school, and my philosophy teacher just going, oh my god, the debt is just absolutely mind-blowing, and at this rate, by the time you guys get to be my age, blah, 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 he was like saying these low numbers, but it's literally triple of what he was even flipping out about way back then.
Mm-hmm. Now $1 million is nothing. They throw that around like it's a $20 bill.
Yeah, and that was when it was in the millions. Now, and then after high school, it got into the billions, and it stayed there for a little while, and now we've hit trillions. And I mean, it's probably in closer to like 50 trillion, maybe 60 or 70 even, if you count the real numbers, like the numbers that happens when all this cash suddenly disappears, without a trace, and add all that stuff in too, and we're closer to 60 to 100 trillion.
Yeah. Okay. Remember, what was it? A couple of days ago, we reported, maybe Friday, we reported that Obama was going to have these meetings because of Ferguson. Now we know why Ferguson happened. It says, after those meetings, Obama planning to increase funding for the militarization of American police force.
Mm-hmm.
It says, since 2006, MRAPs, helicopters, machine guns, and night vision goggles have been increasingly evident across America. As the good old Yankee copper morphs into a full metal jacket-looking killer, even as the FBI admits the threat to police have not escalated as much as the media would like. So it is just lucky that Ferguson has reignited a narrative that enables President Obama to discuss federal programs and funding that provides equipment to the state and local law enforcement agencies. In a series of meetings today at the White House, we suspect funding will increase for your own protection, and a new SWATification czar will be unveiled. A recently published FBI report accidentally proves that while the police claims cops face growing threats from rowdy populations like in Ferguson, the opposite is true. The report presents law enforcement deaths in 2013. The report found that across the entire country, only 76 LEOs were killed in the line of duty incidents. 27 died as a result of felonious acts, and 49 officers died in accidents, namely automobile. Ironically, of the 23 killed in car accidents, 14 were not wearing seatbelts. a violation for which cops routinely ticket drivers. More officers die from accidents than actual murders on the job. The report also outright admits that intentional murders of cops were down from 2004 and 2009. So, and it has a picture here of all the things that he wants to give the police departments. And it says, as the nation wars abroad wind down, many of the military surplus tools of combat have ended up in the hands of state and local law enforcement. Totals below are the minimum number of pieces acquired since 2006 in selections of categories. And here they have a map, and then they have 432 MRAPs, mine-resistant ambush protected, 93,763 machine guns, 180,718 magazines, 533 aircraft, planes and helicopters, night vision, 44,900, including sights, binoculars, goggles, lights, and accessories.
Damn, give me one.
Yeah, and 435 other armored vehicles, including cars and trucks.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but what was that czar that you mentioned that they were going to appoint?
Oh, he said, and a new SWATification czar will be unveiled. So, you know,
SWATification czar?
Yep, that's what they called it.
What kind of fucking police state fucking mumbo jumbo is that?
Well, I've been saying that ever since the first time I heard of czars, and when they got our security, it was Homeland Security. It took me right back to,
Soviet Union.
Yeah, and I don't ever hardly hear anyone bringing that up. We're using Nazi terms, and we have been for a while.
Well, no, they're not Nazi terms. They're fucking communist terms. From straight out of Lenin's asshole.
Yep. But
which happens to be the Carnegie Foundation is the one that started all that shit.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the chat because they show on the map where the states and places where they got the most of these. And let's see, there we go. It's right there.
Oh, thank you.
And Florida, that's not that big. And South Carolina got lots. New York got lots, California, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, and Alabama, it looks like, got the most. The least was Montana, it looks like, and Idaho. But you look, or no, West Virginia got the least. They have the smallest dot, I guess. And then it goes on. President Barack Obama is holding 3 meetings on Monday to discuss issues relating to unrest in Ferguson, Missouri. According to the White House schedule, the first afternoon meeting will be a talk with members of Obama's cabinet to discuss federal programs and funding that provide equipment to the state and local enforcement agencies. Vice President Joe Biden will also be in attendance. Obama is then scheduled to meet with local and national civil rights leaders. The third session will take place among elected officials, law enforcement officials, and community and faith leaders, the church. Make sure you get them in there, to discuss how communities and law enforcement can work together to build trust, to strengthen neighborhoods across the country. No, to police neighborhoods across the country, people. Now, all of a sudden, now all these meetings, this is what they designed to Ferguson.
This was the solution.
Yep, the
typical
ultimate goal.
Hegelianism, problem reaction solution, and Obama just stuck all of those supporters and all of the protesters that keep running around with their hands in the air. Don't shoot! He just stabbed them all in the back. Oh, isn't this so wonderful? And none of these assholes are going to figure it out either. Hello? You just got stuck in the back by your own frickin' dude.
And the people that are living in the war zone there that are scared are really going to be for this. They'll want more militarization. Like I said yesterday, it's not going to be that long, people, until you see law enforcement with machine guns standing on corners watching everything you do.
Well, they already got. I mean, what was that giant order for like the AR-15s? I mean, who was the one that put that in for that bid on the biz.gov or whatever it is, the BizOps? I think it was Homeland Security, wasn't it? I can't remember.
And look at all those hollow points that they've been buying up.
Oh, all the hollow points too, absolutely.
You know, I mean, you look at Thailand or the Netherlands or anywhere like that. You see armed cops, you know, in army fatigues walking around the city with machine guns. And if you don't have the right paperwork, you'll get shot dead.
They're going to turn this into Mexico, man.
It's going to be worse than Mexico.
I think so, too. Actually, because all the Mexicans are now up here. So that's
yeah.
Shit.
Well, a lot of people in Mexico, like, you know, I mean, there's the very, very rich, but there's a lot of poor, and they don't even have phones, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's, yeah.
Well, get prepared. They came up with the big solution now, didn't they? Yesterday with his 3 meetings that was so incredibly, and you know, Al Sharpton's not going to come out of there going, well, we just decided to arm the police more and give them night vision and give them more tanks, and he's never going to mention that. He's never going to mention it. He's going to keep leading people to the slaughter. Hello? He's not on your side, people.
Yeah, he is not. A lot of people there do realize, I mean, it's like when Jackson showed up there, I mean, what's his name? Yeah, Jackson. Isn't it? Oh, I went blank.
Jesse Jackson?
Yeah, Jackson. When he showed up, the black people, they even said, they were yelling at him, telling him to get out. They didn't want his publicity. The only reason he was there was for the publicity. If he wanted to help and go get these people that were arrested out of jail, he wouldn't even get out of his car.
I know.
But yet they accept Sharpton. Why? I don't get it.
Well, because he's a fucking FBI operative. That's why.
What do you think Jackson is?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just
a lot of them realize that though too. They know that they only go where the you know, they're getting publicized.
So Obama goes down there just before the verdict comes out and says, stay the course, and look what he does now. Woo, buddy! Now, if this isn't glaringly obvious what the hell the agenda is after yesterday, I don't know what is. People are freaking brain dead if they can't connect these dots here.
You know, they had to come up with something because violence has really, really fallen in this country as far as citizens-wise. Not police, but citizens. And so people are looking around going, wait, there's no reason for all this military equipment. But now there is a reason.
That's right. They have to justify it somehow. So they create a freaking problem. It's all this crap, and we've been saying it since day one. Scripted dialogue.
Right, and then after Davis told their law enforcement to send back all the military equipment that they got, and they did. There were a few other, I guess, cities that did it too, but they weren't in California. But that was happening too. Cities and communities were saying no way and sending it back, and so they had to do something.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, they had to do something, and look what they've done. I mean, this rings up, and there's a chatter in the chat room right now, like, wigging out about this, so I guess I will mention it, but this definitely smacks of Sandy Hook, doesn't it?
What's that?
Well,
the reason,
the problem, reaction, solution thing. I mean,
Yeah.
this is exactly what they do, and they continue to do this, and they're going to continue to do this.
Yeah, I can't remember President Obama having 3 meetings in one day on one subject ever.
Ever. I mean, he's never paid attention to any kind of subject ever. Like I said yesterday, we're gonna go bomb ISIS now, and it's time to go to the golf course. You know what I mean? He doesn't give a rat's ass about this.
That's another thing. We just did 55 strikes on ISIS, and you know how much did one of those missiles cost?
Sure.
I forget how much it was. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars
Hundreds
for one.
Of thousands, yeah.
Yeah, and so we probably just blew a few million right there.
Oh yeah. Blank freaking
probably
check.
Didn't kill anybody they were after. I wouldn't doubt it.
Hell no, it was all innocence, all of it. All of it. And then, the bad guy's gonna pop up over here, and then wait, we didn't get him. Pop up over here, and holy shit, we didn't get him. You know what I mean?
At 55, I think they were around $500,000 each or something like. I know it's an outrageous amount.
At least, yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous, and they do these. They continue to do this stuff, and people need, and that's why when I was saying, like before the verdict came up with the grand jury, I was saying that if nobody did anything, nobody showed up. Not even a protest, nothing. It would make far more of a greater impact. And that is the reason why I said that when I said it, because they wouldn't have a reason to do all this militarization of the police if nobody had showed up. Hello?
Well, another thing, I was watching some clips about this with this lawyer, and she said that they pretty much, the prosecutors, pretty much, this is something she never seen in the grand jury before, pretty much brought up laws that are 100 years old that aren't even enforced anymore. Right. They brought up those laws to more or less force the grand jury into making a decision, because usually this wouldn't have happened. She said she had never seen it before in the grand jury, that she never seen prosecutors act like that, and they were like forcing it upon the grand jury to come out with, innocent. I mean, way overboard.
Well, because they had to have that innocent verdict in order to spark the fire. They needed that spark.
Yeah,
and they had to, by hook or by crook, they were going to get it. And sure enough, this is what we saw. That's
exactly what this lawyer said, because she said she worked on the grand jury, as a prosecutor for a few years, and she's not anymore, and she never goes against the police in anything this woman says. But this time, she said that, it was orchestrated, and it was that grand jury was going to come up with a not guilty come hell or high water.
But and I'll predict this right now. Federal charges will definitely be coming down on this cop's head. I guarantee that.
And he resigned now.
Yeah, he's resigned. And the thing is that, they've got to keep the feds, Obama's got to keep his safe face now. Mm-hmm. In light of these meetings yesterday now, he's got to still pose as the savior now and like come down federally on this cop. And look, I really am working for the people. No, you're not, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Their plan is falling more and more into place. As you see the pieces starting to fit in the puzzle, it's almost complete.
Yeah, it is. We are very, 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 very close. All that they need is just for God knows what the hell they're going to plan. I mean, I don't even know, dude. It's just so nefarious, and we're all caught in the web. And I don't care if you don't pay attention to the news. I don't give a rat's ass. It affects you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were watching some of Mark Dice's videos yesterday.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, but then, and it was weird. All four of us looked at each other at the same time and thought, wow, this is why we are where we are.
Mm-hmm. My favorite is when he goes and bullhorns the stupid Black Friday shoppers standing in a sheep line I love that one. That's
I
my favorite.
missed that one.
Oh
We were watching the ones to euthanize the senior citizens, and I mean, I was cracking up. People were signing it with their mother standing right next to
no!
them.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
go
we'll just put them to sleep.
go look at the recent one. It's from last Friday actually. Last
Or how
Thursday.
about the one where he was offering these people free samples of the water from Fukushima, and it's going to be on sale. But here, you can have a sample now. Here, and it's radiated from Fukushima, and people were taking it and drinking it. I was just like, oh my god, or. The one where he goes, do you think we should have set off that nuclear bomb last week in China without talking to him? No, I think we should have talked to him first.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I mean, it's just so, like, if we bombed China, the whole world wouldn't know about it, but these people wouldn't. Yeah. They'd still be going to the beach down on the pier.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't. It doesn't. Not knowing about this stuff around the world does not keep you any damn safer. It just makes you more fucking.
And that's another thing that a lot of people say in it. Oh, well, I don't pay any attention to the news.
Because it doesn't affect me.
The one that's taking the water from Fukushima with the radiation symbol on it.
With the radioactive symbol taking a drink. I mean, how freaking stupid do you gotta be? I wouldn't even care if it was fake. I still wouldn't. You know what I mean? Just like, I wouldn't do it. Damn.
Nobody questioned it. Every single person took it. Every one of them. And he said it 3-4 times. Water from Fukushima. Where they had the tsunami and the radiation. But anyway, we're going to be selling it at a discount. But today we're giving out free samples, and everybody took it. That's just, old, young, in between. I don't know. I would stay away from ocean piers because that's where he always is on the pier. Down in San Diego,
away from
Oceanside
piers.
Yeah, because those people are scary.
Well, the problem is those people are everywhere.
No.
I
know. But I mean, most people would know that we didn't set off a nuclear bomb in China, I would think.
You would think, but people are so damn gullible.
And it's funny when someone does catch him, well, we didn't bomb China, and he started cracking up because I know we're just doing a survey. But,
good. It's not everybody's brain dead then. Jeez.
Well, that's 1 in 50 maybe.
Yeah, 1 in maybe 80.
Yeah.
God, man, that's crazy.
It is nuts. Or one was, did you know that we bombed China, and so Walmart isn't getting, Walmart prices are going to be going up. This one guy goes, oh, is that why the shelves are kind of empty at Walmart?
Oh, my gosh, really?
I swear, we were watching yesterday, just rolling. Yep.
I just can't believe it. It just seems like, I don't know what's got to happen to wake people up.
One guy's response was, wow, that's depressing because the prices at Walmart will go up now because everything's made in China. And I just went, okay, good night, Irene.
Good night, Irene. Exactly. Oh, my God.
Anyway, but why don't you bring up your topic now because I'm running out of stuff.
That's fine.
You have me curious. You have my curiosity. People.
All right.
I want to hear your red button.
Well, here we go. This is like really what pisses me off like the most when I hear about stuff like this. But the thing is that I guess I'm going to just try to paint the picture first. We know about the elite and their tastes and what they crave, because the rich, the ultra rich, are so ultra rich. You know what I mean? Is that they have everything they could ever want materialistically.
They need excitement.
They need more, and they need things that excites them. Exactly. They need things to whet their appetites. And typically what they do is they go after young children, boys, girls, and rape them.
And murder them.
And do absolute horrible, unimaginable things to them. And I know somebody personally that this stuff has happened to, and it's beyond everybody's imagination what has happened to my friend. And like, I can't even really like say it here, because, you know, it's very close to me, and what happened to her was of the highest level of satanic ritual abuse, that, you know, she endured. And
it's also a form of brainwashing, right?
Oh, it's called trauma-based mind control. And
yeah, like you like MK Ultra.
It is exactly MK Ultra. It falls under that whole MK Ultra umbrella. When she was growing up, it was labeled Project Monarch, and that's what she went through, but on the highest levels, and I'm talking presidential levels in this country. I'm not really prepared to like go into it because nobody would freaking believe me. Well, our listeners would, but I'm not putting it out there because it would put her life in danger. You know what I mean? I'm not prepared to do that. Anyway, and I'm not going to get graphic about her particular instances and what happened to her either. There's so much other stuff to pay attention to, that it will paint a pretty damn good picture of what I'm talking about. And so let me get into this story here. It's a VIP pedophile ring abused teenage boy inside Buckingham Palace and Balmoral Castle. Okay? And this is from November 29th, which was a few days ago this came out. It says, and this is obviously in a UK publication, it says the boy, then just 16, told how he was a victim of exploitation of the highest order, which is what I'm talking about here, guys. This is how these fuckers at the top operate, and I can guarantee you the royalty in this country, the Bushes and the Clintons, and
do the same. Yep,
the exact same.
And the Clintons.
That's what I just said. Absolutely, this is not just here going on with the royals. Okay, this is going on all over the world, actually, with these sick pedophilia bastards. They all need to be like put under the jail. Okay, the boy, just 16, told how he was the victim of exploitation of the highest order. The claims could now be the subject of a police investigation, but there's not really going to be a real police investigation because they're not going to investigate oh man, and this thing just totally, oh no, hold on, there. Okay, the lad was also assaulted at the royal family Scottish retreat, Balmoral Castle, according to shocking Home Office files, reports the Sunday People. In a heartbreaking note, the boy, then just 16, told how he was a victim of exploitation of the highest order. The chilling claims would now be the subject of a police investigation into historic allegations of child sex abuse in the 1970s and 80s linked to MPs and powerful figures. The disturbing account was passed directly into then Home Secretary Liam Britton, but he ruled that it was not practical to investigate. See how they all cover up for each other because they all have the same, they probably got this Home Secretary Liam Britton with, in compromising positions on photo or on video, I'm sure.
Why wouldn't it be practical? What's his excuse there? I mean,
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be practical?
It's not practical because you're not going to investigate the royal family. Are you kidding? It's not practical to do that. Hell no. All right, campaigning Labor MP Tom Watson said, I'm sure the palace will want to cooperate with any inquiry. Sure they do.
Yeah.
Palace spokesman said, the royal household takes any allegation of this nature seriously and would act to address any specific allegations or investigate specific information. Yeah, sure. The Sunday People and the investigations website Exaro have established that the Home Office file contains evidence of a letter written by the boy's mother. She wrote to complaining MP Jeffrey Dickens, fearing that her son had been groomed by a pedophile ring while working at the Buckingham Palace kitchens. The boy, 16 at the time, putting him below the age of homosexual consent, which was then 21 in England. In Scotland, homosexuality is still totally illegal. So, in Balmoral Castle is in Scotland. Mr. Dickens said at the time, the boy told his parents he had been sexually abused by members of the royal household at the palace. I'm concerned the palace could be a part of a chain supplying young men to pedophiles in the diplomatic service. Yeah, dude, they pass around young boys like they're candy over in there. And they're just saying, like, teenagers, 16-year-olds, I can guarantee you it's 5 years old, babies, all not exempt from any of this stuff. Guaranteed. The 16-year-old went to work at the palace in the early 1970s. After a few months, his family noticed he was acting strangely. A family friend told Exaro things were okay when he first joined the palace staff. After a few months, things started to turn a little strange. I wonder why. After what the source described as an incident at Balmoral, the royal family's Scottish home, the boy's parents were told by a close friend who also worked at Buckingham Palace that their son was being sexually abused there. The source added, they got wind of this after an incident at Balmoral when he screamed in the night. Oh my God, there must be all kinds of weird screams coming from that fucking basement. Yikes, man. The concerned friend who worked for the royals at the time immediately alerted the boy's parents. He told them, this is something that you should have nothing to do with. Reports from the time reveal further details about the boy's ordeal. One says his parents discovered a handwritten note from him. It read, this is what the boy wrote. What Buckingham Palace did for me was exploitation of the highest order. The boy's mother said at the time, my son was happy and normal until he went there. Then he changed completely. He refused to talk to us or discuss what he was up to. The boy's father also claimed that the young palace staff were lavished with expensive gifts for, quote, entertaining men. He added, in some cases, palace officials were involved. Afterwards, the servants got good references to take up posts abroad with wealthy employers. Oh, so to be further sexually abused, they just sent them all to their friends. After, of course, I'm not going to even say stuff like that. This is just sickening enough. I don't have to make it worse. Let's see. According to the Home Office files, the desperate parents wrote to Jeffrey Dickens for help. The MP raised the mother's concerns with the Home Secretary in 1983. But Mr. Dickens received a reply saying Leon Britton felt that it would not be practical to carry out a detailed investigation. This is what this guy wrote here, Zorie. He wrote, I need hardly assure you that the royal household is extremely concerned at these unsubstantiated allegations, and it is, of course, their policy to take every step to avoid an occurrence of such as is alleged. So he's just going ahead and
In
just...
other words, he's covering their asses and saying they wouldn't do that.
That's right. That's exactly what the deal. There is... Listen to this. This is a joke and a laugh right here. There is nobody currently employed in the royal household who is under the age of 18. Yeah, sure. Mr.
Well, who says they were employed? They kidnap them.
Right.
A lot of them.
They do. Absolutely they do. Absolutely. Mr. Breton indicated that... Yeah, this is a typo. This is a total typo here. Mr. Britton indicated that her son had worked out of Buckingham Palace for a year. This is the kid's mother. Adding, it's extremely difficult to comment on the accuracy of the allegations in the letter. Okay. So he dismissed that too. But an even more chilling development is contained in the files, lending weight to the claims that a pedophile VIP ring was linked to the palace. During his time at Buckingham Palace, the 16-year-old was approached by notorious pedophile Sir Peter Hyman and was asked to work for him in Canada, where he was an ambassador. Now, I've got to interject something here. You don't get knighted and called sir anything. You don't get knighted unless you partake in this pedophilia activity. So they have knighted Sir Paul McCartney, who obviously, they don't knight you unless you are taking part and partaking in this. Bono has been knighted. I mean, all of these fuckers.
Elton John.
I mean, you know, that's not hard to see him doing this kind of shit, honestly.
Yeah.
And you don't get knighted unless you partake in this. I can guarantee that. Okay, so it says, Sir Peter Hyman has been identified as a member of the VIP pedophile ring operating in Westminster and is known to have had royal connections. Of course he has. He can't get his knighthood unless they do this shit. He was desperate to have the boy working for him, even writing to his parents to ask them. So this asshole who wanted this boy to come to Canada to work for him, he was desperate to have this boy come and work for him, even writing to his parents to ask them about taking his son on as a footman. Yeah, footman, all right. Hyman said that the boy would need winter clothes. The parents never found out how Hyman knew their son. But the source said they knew something was wrong. Of course they did. At least they had a brain on their shoulders. The parents were so concerned by Hyman's approach that they attempted to stop their son working for him, the family friend had explained. Ixaro has established that the boy's parents intervened to stop him going to Canada to work for Hyman. Heyman. It's Heyman, guys, not Hyman.
Well, isn't that their right?
Yeah, it is. So, it's Heyman. Mr. Watson, who has led the campaign for a full-scale inquiry into the claims of child sex abuse at the heart of the establishment, said, quote, "In light of what we know now, any allegation of sexual crimes leading Peter Heyman should be thoroughly investigated." Yeah, absolutely, they should be thoroughly investigated. He was protected by the establishment at the time. The full extent of how his conduct was covered up has not been explained. The parents and their son have declined to comment on the allegations, but the revelations link Buckingham Palace to a pedophile network of MPs and powerful figures that operated over many, many years in the UK. Palace officials have already been linked to the notorious brothel at the notorious brothel, the Elm Guest House in southwest London. Police are investigating archives on Hayman. Sorry, I keep mispronouncing that. Police are investigating archives on Hayman in a bid to find his links to other establishment pedophiles. An abuse survivor known as Nick, to protect his identity, named one of his many VIP attackers, such as Hayman. Nick picked Hayman out from a collection of pictures that Exaro showed to him, placing him at abuse parties with other pedophiles. An appendix to a review by the Home Office last year reveals one of their missing files was called Sir Peter Hayman, 1980-81 Papers, Ex-Diplomat's Intriguing Private Life. So, we have this going on in England. All this stuff is coming to the surface, but really, it's kind of like oil and water. And when the oil floats up to the surface, it just kind of breaks on the surface and spreads out, and really nothing ever gets done about it. This is a total hot button issue for me, and I kind of went and started digging up a little bit, and I'm just going to read some of these headlines from like the past, like 2012, like the end of 2012, this stuff started to surface, like, and really become talked about in Britain. I'm just going to read like the I'm not going to read all these stories because it's just absolutely crazy. I'm just going to read these, scan these headlines. One says, abuse scandal probe widens. The man who may hold key to UK's biggest pedophile network ever. Charles Napier could provide vital evidence for police investigating child abuse spanning 3 decades. That's one. Another one is Pedo Palace. File reopened. Detectives probing historic sex abuse claims. Then it's the subline is a guest house where 30 years ago the rich and powerful are feared to have abused young boys is under police scrutiny again. That was from 2012. Another one says child abuse cop sees VIP list. Politicians, MI5 agent, royal aide, and pop stars all named. Maybe I should read that one. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
First, let me click on that sucker. Yeah, I'll read that one. This one sounds pretty good. This was from January 19th of 2013. First arrest expected soon following dawn raid in connection with a suburban guest house that operated as a gay brothel. Let's see here. A list of names seized by police probing allegations of child abuse includes ministers, members of the royal household, and a world-famous pop star. The Sunday People can reveal. All were recorded as visitors to a suburban guest house. They say operated as a gay brothel. Now, some could be suspects in an investigation into a network of powerful people who were secret pedophiles for years. This has been going on for ages and ages, guys. Late last week, police ramped up the inquiry, and arrests are believed to be imminent. Although I haven't heard of any arrests. Have you? 9 officers raided the North London home of a former... here we go. 9 officers raided the North London home of a former child protection worker, Mary Moss, after she initially declined to cooperate with the investigation. Documents and a laptop were seized. Ms. Moss later handed over a further 19 files she had hidden in a neighbor's shed. Oh, yeah. And this is supposed to be Child Protection Services here in England? Mm-hmm.
Well, we all know that Child Protective Services take orders, and and get children for trafficking.
That's
They always have.
They always have, that's right. And this is further proof of that. This is why I'm reading this right now. The papers include a list of men who went to sex parties in the 80s at the Elm Guest House, Barnes, southwest London. Among other names are 2 former Conservative cabinet ministers and 4 other senior Tories. They're not naming names here, guys. There's also a Labour MP, a prominent Irish Republican, and a leading National Front member, which is supposed to be the Conservative, kind of like the Republicans there. The National Front is kind of like a far extreme right-wing group. Others in the handwritten note are 2 members of the royal household. One, a former Buckingham and Palace employee, plus the owner of a multinational company, and 2 pop stars. I bet you Bono was one of them. But I can't say that here because they don't mention it. But you don't get knighted if you don't do that, actually. One of those is a best-selling musician, but like some others on the list, he is not suspected of being involved in child abuse. Yeah, right. The list was taken at the meetings in 1988 between the guest house manager Carol Kaiser and child protection officials. Other documents seized are believed to identify 16 boys who were allegedly trafficked to the guest house from local care homes. See, there we go. Bing, 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 bing. Police have asked Richmond Council for a full list of children in care at the time. Now, remember, guys, back when Bush 41 Sr. was president, he was involved in the pedophilia scandal of busing in children for midnight visits to the White House.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, that got conveniently swept under the rug. That was the whole Van de Kamp book. I can't remember the name of it now, sorry. I can't remember the name of his book. Okay, officers will be examining copies of cash receipts and the guest house visitor records. Operation Fernbridge is investigating claims that the boys who were in council care were brought to the Elm to be sexually abused by bigwigs and VIPs. It was launched after Labour MP Tom Watson claimed a pedophile ring used top-level connections to dodge justice. Yeah, you think? As well as Richmond social service records from nearby Wandsworth, Hammersmith, and Fulham, and Hounslow will be checked by detectives. They were busting them in from everywhere, guys. Same thing here. The first people to be arrested are not expected to be famous. But sources close to the investigation are increasingly confident that some big names will be caught in the police net. Renowned figures linked to the scandal so far include the former Liberal MP Cyril Smith and the one-time keeper of the Queen's pictures, Anthony Blunt, who was disgraced as a traitor and a spy. Oh boy, see how they stab their own and eat their own? The Sunday People was the first to expose the Pedo Palace last month. Its owner, Kassir, was 47 when she died of a suspected overdose in 1990. Yeah, right, she was murdered. Because that's how they do it there in England. They kind of overdose them in England. And just remember, like they did. Remember when this latest royal baby was born, and the nurse who was taking care of them had overdosed. Remember that, Zorie?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, she overdosed. She's mysteriously died before the mother and child were released from the hospital. It was just bizarre, like she had seen something. I don't know, but this is how they typically do it there in England. At her inquest, child protection workers told the coroner of her meetings with them 2 years earlier. She reported that the boys from nearby Grafton Close Council home were brought to her premises and abused. The claim was never fully investigated by police. Kassir was at the Elm when cops raided the party there in 1982. Of course, she turns up dead from an overdose. Of course. 12 boys then told police they had been abused by men in the house, but complaints were not pursued. The only prosecution in the wake of the raid resulted in Kassir being convicted of keeping a brothel. Campaigners believe she did not know of the child abuse until shortly before she reported it in 1988, and then she died shortly after that, guys. It appears in a 2003 probe into activities at the Elm also fizzled out. Now Operation Fernbridge may be on the verge of bringing the offenders to justice. And this is back in 2013, and we haven't heard a damn thing about it.
Well, it's just like here, they never, ever get held accountable.
No, they never get held accountable. Absolutely not. It was triggered by a speech Tom Watson made at the House of Commons. He told MPs there was, quote, clear intelligence of an abuse network of powerful men with the influence at the highest level in Parliament and even in Downing Street. Oh, man.
Yeah.
A lot of it was gathered in the 1992 investigation into pedophile Peter Wrighton. The Met launched Operation Fairbank with a staff of 5 collecting intelligence on long-standing allegations. After interviewing adult witnesses, they started Operation Fernbridge to look solely at the Elm. Speaking to Exparo, the investigative website, Ms. Moss said of last week's raid, they were friendly enough, but I thought it was heavy-handed and a complete violation of my privacy. The Met said on Friday the investigation will be led by the Child Abuse Investigation Command. Sure it will.
Yeah, have the guilty ones investigate themselves.
Investigate themselves. Where do we see this? We see this in every freaking instance we talk about here on this network. They always investigate themselves. The allegations under Operation Fernbridge were initially assessed under Operation Fairbank, which, see all these fucking confusing operations, guys? Which was from information passed to police by Mr. Tom Watson. The MP said, I believe a great injustice was done in the 1980s. Yeah, sure. To stop something like this from happening again, I'm asking victims to summon the courage to come forward now. Whatever has happened in the past, your voices will be heard now. You can contact the police, or if you feel more comfortable, you can contact me directly. Alright, so let me continue on with I'm not going to read any more of these articles because they all are going to lead to the same.
And what they're going to do is find out which ones are going to tell and then snuff them off.
Exactly, Zorie. Bing, bing, bing. You totally hit the nail on the head right there. Absolutely. Let's see. Okay. Elm Guest. This is the Elm Guest House scandal. First victim of pedal guest house breaks his silence. Alright, here we go. They forced us to wear fairy costumes, got us drunk on cider, then the abuse started, the victim tells the Sunday People. My fairy costumes, really? Oh my god. I had to read that subtitle, that subline, man. I mean, what the hell? These people are freaks, man. Alright, and okay. Now let me tell you something right now. Lady Diana was involved in the same mind control, pedophilia. She was raised in this from a small, young girl. She was groomed to get married to Prince Charles. She was groomed for this whole thing. And her name comes up in this kind of stuff. Quite a lot. And this next thing says, Diana saved my life. Elm's guest house victim met Princess when he was sleeping rough. Man claims he was subjected to horrific abuse at the Elm from the age of 10. And believe me, Lady Diana also suffered from this kind of crap too. She was a victim of this all of her life as well. And the person that I know that suffered from the satanic ritual abuse actually met Lady Diana, and Diana told her face to face when they were in a room getting ready. They had to change clothes into their whatever they were doing, and they stuck her in a room with her, and Diana looked at her in the eye and said, "We've got to get out of this." And then they took Diana away and did God knows what to her. But that's why I can't really talk about my friend, because it was really high level stuff. I can tell superficial stuff, but I can't really get into the crazy crap that I know. Alright, let me see. Another one says, Elm Guest House Scandal. Coded advert gave the signal to perverts. A handwritten message is understood to have alerted abusers that young boys were available for sex. So, and another headline says, Elm's Guest House abuse scandal. 2 men arrested by police probing VIP pedophile ring at children's home. It is alleged that young boys were taken from the children's home in Richmond to be abused at the guest house in Barnes, now known to be a safe haven for gay men. Another one reads, Elm Guest House office was warned by top Tory 30 years ago of VIP pedophile ring. It just keeps going on and on and on, people. Jeffrey Dickens MP handed over a 50-page dossier detailing VIP child abuse in 1984. And this stuff, none of this stuff, and these headlines keep going on and on and on and on. Elm's Guest House, cops make first arrest into alleged VIP pedophile scandal, and they always arrest the underlings that mean nothing. They always arrest the people, and then they heap all of the scandal on the ones that they arrest that and then the rest of the big guys go unscathed and unaccounted for.
Yeah, always.
Elm's Guest House boy brothel boss Haroon Kassir to leave Britain for America. Oh, great! Bring that fucker over here, huh? According to Sparrow, the 68-year-old is making plans to raise £60,000 to immigrate to the U.S., the Sunday People has reported. So they're coming over here now. Let me see.
Well, we have our own over here, I mean,
well, hell
this
yeah.
is going on for... Well, look at O'Brien. Gerald Ford was one of her handlers.
Kathy O'Brien. And she came from Michigan, as well as my friend, and believe me, my friend had her run-ins with Jerry as well.
Yeah,
I can't get into. If I was to say that on air, it would put her life in danger. I can't.
Yeah, Kathy Osborne came out. I mean,
no. Kathy O'Brien.
Brian, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And when I first heard that, I checked all the dates that she gave and stuff, and it all came.
It checks out.
It lined
up what?
Just perfect.
Her dates coincide with my friend's dates.
Yeah, I mean, it's sickening how they go around and buy these kids from their parents and teach their parents how to abuse them.
And one thing I will tell you guys is what Gerald Ford used to do. One of his big things that he used to get off on was to rape young little girls, the ages of like 5, 6, and up, while watching child snuff films.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, that was his big thing. And my friend experienced that exact same scenario as well. So
That's what happens to a lot of the children too. They get and put, they snuff them as they're
it's
getting off on them.
getting abused. Yeah, exactly. And then they film it for their buddies, like Gerald Ford, and it's just sick. It's fucking. It just. This is my hot button issue. And because it happened to a close friend of mine, this gets my blood just boiling right now.
Yeah, and for it to work, they have to get them when they're very, very young and they've been terribly sexually and mentally abused.
That's right, absolutely. And the younger they get them, the more that they can, train them to be, sex slaves, right? That's pretty much the typical. Kathy O'Brien was a sex slave,
right? And plus, they can break up the brain. What is it called when they section it off?
Compartmentalizing it.
Yeah,
and for the victims, often develop multiple personality disorder to deal with the different situations that they're put under. And believe me, and they make the brain of young children that they abuse completely compartmentalized so that they can program them for different things. Like one part of the brain will be an assassin. And one part of the brain becomes a sex slave.
And they know how to communicate with those different parts.
Yeah.
Really.
That's right.
Yeah, everyone should watch Kathy O'Brien's tapes.
Yes, absolutely. And it's not just Kathy. I mean, and it's not just my close friend. I know other people that have gone through the same thing too. And
well, they've had committee meetings about it in Washington, but nothing ever comes
of it. Absolutely not. And this just makes me want to freaking puke. And these headlines just keep going on and on and on and on and on. I mean, there's so many of them, and but nothing's ever done.
Well, remember the scandal at the Boys Club, Boys Town.
Yeah. It was that's what I was talking about. The Bandicamp, that whole book. That's and Larry. God, I can't remember his name now. Larry something. That guy's name escapes me. Oh,
I'm never going to see any of these guys, any of these high up elites ever get punished. Never. I don't care.
Here's one that said, let's see, MI6 chief and shamed diplomat raped me, claims alleged victim of VIP pedophile abuse ring. The victim, who we are only identifying as Nick, says Sir Peter Heyman was one of the group of men who raped him as a child during a party in London. And then another one here says, I watched Troy, MP, murder a boy during a depraved Westminster VIP pedophile party. The abuse victim's claims were being treated as credible by detectives now investigating 3 murders allegedly linked to a network of VIP perverts. So they rape and they murder. Man, oh man. And this crap just goes on all the time. And it's going on inside Buckingham Palace and inside their Balmoral Castle and other castles that the royal family.
And it goes on here, but if anyone gets too close, they just get killed.
Yes. Yes, they do. Absolutely. And the Queen, it's well known that and we've talked about this too before, when you take in the blood of a baby or a child, it will make an old person younger again. So they drink the blood of babies, people. Let me tell you right now what they do. I mean, they will slice open an artery at the down near the foot of the child, and then they will take turns drinking the blood. It's sick. Or they'll hang them by their feet and insert like straws into the the arteries in the neck. I mean, I've got all kinds of shit that they do that I have heard and that this person has seen. It's absolutely abhorrent. And it's definitely one of my hot button issues. It pisses me off, and I'm kind of glad that we're at least touching on this stuff because we never ever talk about this because it's so horrific to talk about this stuff. But there's so much evidence around that this is how these assholes behave. And they're the leaders of the free freaking world, and they never ever get held accountable for this stuff. And so never ever think that that Obama is like the friend of the people. Never ever think that one of our very own presidents is for the people. Never think that people who run the UK and the royal family are like models to be looked at as role models. I mean, this is just it's ass backwards, people. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm like having a hot flash right now because it pisses me off so bad. I just feel so bad for these kids. And like I said, having the borders wide open and having all of these kids just streaming in, you bet your sweet bottom dollar that they're just being corralled by the hundreds by these sick pedophile rings and just being transferred all over the world and all over the U.S. to, like, you know, big giant mansions and, you know, placed in cages in their basements. And oh my God, it's happening everywhere, people. It's really, really, it makes me sick, to tell you the truth.
Well, do you remember that case of that, they had a child care, place where people took their kids to be watched during the day, and it came out later that they had a tunnel going from that daycare to where they'd get on a bus and they'd take them, be sexually abused, bring them back, threaten them that if they said anything, they'd kill their mothers and everything.
Yeah.
That woman and her son were the only ones that ever went to prison.
And guarantee that there was some kind of judges and cops and shit like that were completely protected from that whole scandal. Yeah, absolutely. This is par for the freaking course. And the reason why nobody's going to investigate it, cop-wise or judge-wise or prosecutor-wise,
it's a death wish, really, if you
because
investigate
they
it.
themselves have
involved,
careers, and they're involved too. And this is how it always works. And this is how they've been able to get away with this kind of stuff for eons and eons and eons now. I've completely lost my flash crashed and my whole computer just froze up, so I can't read anything else.
Flash has been doing that real bad lately.
Yeah, man, I'm stuck now. I can't read another single word. It's all completely...
Can you close the browser and open it back up?
I could, but I would lose all this stuff that I was reading. My computer's completely frozen. How stupid is that?
You can't bring up your Taskmaster, where you
right
click down below.
Oh yeah. How do I do that again?
Right click down on your toolbar, the bottom one. Right click and go to Task Manager, and then go up and you can kill the process.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, just go in there, find Firefox, and just end process, and it'll get rid of it.
Okay.
And if you can't do that, you're going to have to reboot, period.
Yeah.
It's so frozen that it won't bring out the Task Manager.
Yeah, it's not responding.
Yep, you're frozen, so we're going to have to wing it the other 10 minutes.
So Firefox needs to get closed down?
Right, you have to go in there and it'll say processes and it'll say Firefox. Just right click on it and go in process. And that'll close down Firefox. Then you can open it back up.
Oh, right on. And I just lost everything else, but that's okay. Thank you, Zorie. We're troubleshooting on the air, people. Sorry. But my computer froze up. Oh, there we go. Yeah, man. These headlines just they just keep going on and on and on and on, but nobody ever really gets held. Nobody ever gets prosecuted. Nobody ever. Nobody high up, nobody of worth noting, ever gets prosecuted, and we all know that this is going on, but nothing's ever done about it. Nothing.
Well, one of the reasons, and we were looking into this last night, is your birth certificate. You are property of the state. And which proves that is this lady had 4 children, and she got birth certificates for 3 of them, and on the 4th one she had waken up, and learned about it and refused to get a birth certificate for that one. And then later in life, the kids were a little older and stuff, and CPS came and took all her children, but returned the one. They did not have, because they did not own that child. When parents knew what they were signing when they signed that birth certificate, they never would. What you are doing are giving up all your rights to the state. We are then property of the state, which is, used for bonds, and our future taxes is blown on.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why it's high officials and stuff can take them, because we belong to them, literally.
That's a huge point. It is. It's when you sign that birth certificate. You're right. It's like when you sign anything, any documents that they give you at all the sign. Once you, like even your driver's license, once you sign that, nothing is no longer.
Well, once the birth certificate is done, and there's a $50,000 fine if you do not register your newborn within 30 days.
Yeah, see, they get you coming and going, man.
There's this group of people that realized this. I was watching this clip, and it's kind of interesting, because what they did, instead of registering their newborn, they have made a corporation of their own of their child, because that's what you become when they give you that number and then your name's all in caps.
Mm-hmm,
you become a corporation.
Right.
Well, what they did was they put their child in a trust fund to themselves, to the parents.
Right.
Instead, they're corporate. And it's really interesting. I'm going to go back into it today and listen more closely as to how they did it. And then they sent that in. Then the state sent them another letter saying, blah, 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 blah. And then they've responded again, and now they're waiting to hear from them again. But they knew, and so they're refusing to sign their children over.
That's good.
So
but they're going to have all kinds of hell, because they haven't. You know what I mean?
Right, and they said, well, don't you want your child to have be able to get a passport? But they proved the child can get a passport because you're still a citizen. Whether
can't get a driver's license though.
There's ways.
You can't get, Well,
these people though are living off the grid. You can tell they're off the grid, and they are constitutionalists. Those horrible people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they homeschool and everything else. So I don't think they're that worried about that. They're more worried about their child belonging to them instead of the state.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that all started in 1933. We did not have birth registrations before then. Before then, you just put it in the family Bible.
Yeah. Now they take your blood and cross and type your DNA and keep that on file and start having a DNA database. And
they can do all that because they own your child.
That's right. That's right. As soon as you sign on the dotted line, that's it. The straw man process begins. That's what it's called. But let me tell you, I mean, the pedophilia just goes so far. It's so deep. It's so insidious.
The Clintons.
Bushes. The Bushes.
Yeah, the Bushes too.
I mean, the Bushes are just... I just know stories. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, they're just They're sick, 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 and
It's
it's all because. And it starts when they think nothing of this. They don't think there's anything wrong with it because they've been brought up to believe that.
right. Oh yeah, it's normal for them. This is normal.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff is completely normal. Now Bush has a freaking grand. I don't think that they do this stuff to their own family. Like I think that
Well, they do to some of them. I think the lower family, because look at Lady Diane. She wasn't way down there. She was a part of the royalty.
Well, no,
she
wasn't really part of the bloodline. She was not
right.
a bloodline member. She was groomed from a young woman to fit this. They had already picked her out as a child. In fact, it was an arranged marriage, obviously. Blah blah blah. But they groom them for these positions. But I don't think like Harry and his brother.
Well, no, not the highest up.
I don't think that I think that they probably went through some form of kind of mind control stuff, but I don't think that they were allowed to be raped and tortured like that. Although I do think that they were programmed, their brains were programmed from a young age. You know what I mean? They've got more subtle ways of doing that kind of stuff now. And like the Bushes, like Jenna and her sister or whatever. I don't think that they were sexually abused, but I guarantee you they were made to participate in some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Oh yeah, because they're taught that we are nothing. We aren't even above animals.
That's right. Yeah, so that we deserve what we get, and you might as well have fun.
They have to show their power over us.
That's
there's so much to it.
There is so much to it, and this is how they. You know what? They run the world like this. They run the entire world off of this way of thinking, and it's so ass backwards and so immoral and so just degenerate scumbag fuckers.
Well, that's why, when they kill all these innocents over in Iraq, it doesn't faze them.
No.
Because it's like, going out and killing wild pigs or something. It's the same thing to them. It's nothing.
What did Stalin say? I mean, one man's death is a tragedy and a million is just a statistic.
Right.
I mean, this is how these fuckers operate, and why they're not all completely imprisoned is, beyond me.
Well, because we look up to them, even though they do wrong, we forgive them.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's not just the royals; it's just as much here as it is there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Diana was part of the actual bloodline, but she was groomed at a young age to be part of the royal family.
Yeah, it was an arranged marriage.
It was an arranged marriage, absolutely. And they killed her because she divorced Prince Charles and was, getting ready to start speaking out about this stuff. They killed her ass. They killed her ass in a ritualistic way.
Yeah, they did.
She was killed coincidentally directly under the statue of Diana, where the car crashed. If you go up above that tunnel, there's the statue of Diana there, and she was killed right directly underneath that statue. Totally an occultic sacrifice right there. Absolutely. It's just, and they continue to do this to this day. And they get really, I don't know, it makes me like break out into a cold sweat because I get so pissed.
Look, Obama's not going to get in any trouble for any of the damage that he has done.
Hell no. He's gonna get the royal carpet rolled out for him.
He'll get his library and all that.
Oh yeah, just like Bush did. And what's in that Bush library? Bits and pieces of the World Trade Center medal.
Mm-hmm.
The glorified. This is Bush's dynasty. Look at what he did. He started the the New World Order process in motion. This is his greatest achievement was 9/11, and that's in the Bush freaking GW Bush Library. I mean, right there for all to see. And it just makes me freaking want.
And they're proud of it. You know,
they're proud of it as hell. Hell yeah. Oh my God. It just makes me want to puke.
And you know, it tells you something when Cheney and Bush can't even go travel to other countries because they would be brought up on war crimes and put in prison.
Absolutely. And they that's exactly right. They can't go anywhere out of this country. Even in Canada.
And our media still praises these guys. Like,
I know.
Listen to O'Reilly. Oh, he still thinks,
Shiloh Vibely? Really? He's another freaking weird.
And you know, he started out as an activist. He was on our side when he started out.
Well, he was on
and he got bought out.
Not on our side. I wouldn't even call it our side. He was on the fake, phony left side.
Not in the very beginning when he started out his career. Because I know people that used to listen to him years and years and years back until he sold out.
Yeah. And how do you sell out? You have to rape a small young boy. That's how you sell out. Because they have to get something on you. And so they invite you to...
or give you, he's a multi-millionaire now.
Hell yeah.
So, you know, the money is there too for, you know... Yeah. A lot of, you know, alternative, the ones that really get listened to, get offers. Believe they do.
Well, I'm kind of glad we went to a whole different direction today than what we usually go into with the police abuse and the police.
You're right. You know, this needs to be talked about more. It's just so, and this goes on in juvenile halls too. You know, I mean, this is across the board.
It is. You're right about that. It's across the board. It goes on. I mean, literally, it goes on everywhere.
Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, anywhere where you see an organization that has children involved, you're going to have pedophilias and sickos in there taking care of them.
We haven't even brought up the freaking Catholics. I mean, oh my God. I mean,
what kind of religion protects a pedophile?
Yeah, I mean, that's another whole can of worms entirely right there.
They're all interconnected.
In the Vatican, holy crap! I mean, that's another whole show right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God, and it just pisses me off to no end. These people are evil, and they need to be brought to justice.
Yeah, my friend from Mexico, he says down there it's accepted. I mean, you always see all the priests. They always have a lot of either little boys or little girls around them, and that live in the parish with them. Yeah,
it's sick. God, we are at the end of the show already.
Wow, that was quick.
That was very quick. I mean, the intro's about to come on now. It's Tuesday night, everybody. Thanks for hanging. Well, there we go. Sorry.
Bye. Have a great day.
Great day.